Tonight, Jacksonville police making an arrest after a shooting left 2 people hurt. You're watching THV 11 News at 10. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz. Officers responded to the Wingate Square apartments just after 3 this morning, following reports that 2 people had been shot. Those 2 were taken to the hospital. No other information on their condition has been released. Police identified 31-year-old Reginald Dwayne Kelly as a suspect. He was arrested and charged with 2 counts of attempted capital murder. Little Rock police are investigating a homicide from earlier this weekend. Around 2 a.m. Saturday, officers were called to a home on Lancaster Road. At the scene, police say they found a man who had been shot. He was taken to the hospital but later died. We will keep you up to date with the latest as soon as we know it. Now, meteorologist Simone Thomas joins us. Simone, it's starting to get a little chilly outside. What should we expect heading into the week?
Well, Sarah, I know the first day of spring is Tuesday, and a lot of people are excited for that. But before we get there, we do have a couple of nights of freezing or near freezing temperatures to expect across central Arkansas. So tonight into Monday morning, a lot of places dipping into the 30s. We looking at frost potential. Now, as we get into Tuesday, Monday night into Tuesday morning, that's when we get a little bit closer to the freezing line. We have a couple watches that we need to talk about. So for night into your Monday morning, mainly northern Arkansas, under that freeze warning, that's where we're expecting to actually see temperatures dipping below freezing, even some upper 20s possible. Now Monday night into Tuesday morning, you see that lighter blue extending further south. That's a freeze watch because we're getting a little bit closer to that freezing criteria. Now I'll talk about how soon you can expect those spring-like temperatures, because I know everybody is excited for spring, but you'll have to stick around for that full 7-day outlook.
All right, thanks, Simone. Now over to Hot Springs, where there were big celebrations at the 21st annual World's Shortest St. Patrick's Day Parade. The Spa City saw close to 30,000 people today and some very special guests from out of town. Tonight, THV 11's Brooke Buckner shows us the highlights.
Another St. Patrick's Day in the Spa City.
It just seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Bill Solider is a member of the parade's committee and says they hit a record number of people every year. Lots of green and lots of smiles filled Bridge Street and surrounding ones.
We had to actually order more barricades this year to handle the crowds.
He says people started showing up as early as 8 a.m. Sunday. Forey J. Smith from Yellowstone, former Dallas Cowboys player Emmitt Smith, the Cowboys cheerleaders, and actress Joey Lauren Adams, and world arm wrestling champion The Monster Michael Todd were special guests. The event draws in people from all over the state, too.
So we've gotten to check out like the restaurants and bars and the spa. We went to the spa this morning, one of the bathhouses, so we loved it.
He got to take his first picture with the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
And to officially declare it the world's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade, they brought out the tape measure.
98 feet.
But after some questioning, they had to double check.
After further review, the measurement stands. 98 feet is the distance, and we're still the first ever world's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade.
And while the distance may be short, the city's tourism season is long.
It's one of the biggest weekends in Hot Springs. Spring break is in general, starting in the beginning of March. We will stay busy through the fall.
And now they're looking forward to do this all again next year.
Put the world's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade on your bucket list.
In Hot Springs, Brooke Buckner, THV 11 News.
A seismic shift could be coming to the nation's real estate market. A landmark settlement could change how homes are bought and sold and keep more money in your bank account. The National Association of Realtors is agreeing to pay more than $400 million in damages to settle a series of lawsuits alleging it conspired to boost agent commissions. Right now, the U.S. average commission rate is about 5 or 6%, one of the highest in the world. U.S. consumers pay about $100 billion in commissions each year, which could be reduced by 30%.
I think for sellers, you're going to negotiate with your agent to come up with a fee that is reasonable for you. For buyers, it's a game changer. You may decide you don't even want a realtor.
The settlement deal has one final hurdle to clear. It has to be approved by the courts. The new rules are expected to go into effect in July. Former President Trump is doubling down on campaign rhetoric that has even some Republicans questioning his use of words that many Democrats say could suggest political violence. Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
People. In some cases, they're not people, in my opinion, but I'm not allowed to say that because the radical left says that's a terrible thing to say.
Former President Donald Trump kicked up a firestorm as he described some migrants during his weekend rally in Ohio.
These are bad. These are animals, okay? And we have to stop it.
The Republican presumptive nominee used similar language in a TV interview that aired Sunday.
Our country is being poisoned. Look, we have, and we can be nice about it. We can talk about, oh, I want to be politically correct, but we have people coming in from prisons and jails, long-term murderers.
Also raising eyebrows, Trump warned the crowd of a bloodbath if he's not elected, as he vowed to impose 100% tariffs on cars made in Mexico by China.
If I get elected, now if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country.
The general tone of the speech is why many Americans continue to wonder, should President Trump be president?
Former Vice President Mike Pence, meanwhile, said again he won't endorse Trump's November run, while saying he forgives Trump in his heart for what happened on January 6th.
The fact that the president continues to insist that I had the right to overturn the election that day is a fundamental difference.
Saturday night, President Biden addressed the annual Gridiron Club dinner. Aside from several one-liners, Biden took aim at Trump, saying he bows down to Russian President Vladimir Putin and warned that American democracy and freedom are under threat. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
A Trump campaign spokesman said that the former president was talking about the impact of a second Biden term on the auto industry and broader economy in his, quote, bloodbath remarks. Former Vice President Pence, meanwhile, says Trump's calling January 6 prisoners, quote, hostages is unacceptable. Meanwhile, Israel has used words like ridiculous, absurd, and unrealistic to describe Hamas's latest proposal. But when it comes to actions, it's still attending ceasefire talks as the humanitarian costs in Gaza mount. Tonight, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reaffirmed his determination to expand the offensive in Gaza. A group of Arkansas lawmakers now clearing the way to eliminate the X gender marker on state-issued IDs. The Arkansas Legislative Council's executive subcommittee, made up of mostly Republicans, approved the emergency rules for the new policy announced this week. The change gets rid of the X option when selecting a gender. The agency also now requires proof of an amended birth certificate to change their gender on their license. Any license with the X mark will remain valid until they expire. It's an issue THV11 has been covering for years, broadband access, or really a lack thereof, for communities across the state. It may be hard to believe, but even now in 2024, there are still Arkansans who don't have access to the internet. But now THV11's Rebecca Brown reports on a new plan with federal funds that could change that.
Lack of broadband access affects millions of Americans every day, especially here in Arkansas.
There are still about 160,000 homes and businesses across Arkansas that to this day still lack internet service completely.
But with the new infrastructure bill introduced by President Joe Biden, Arkansas is receiving $1 billion to hopefully solve the problem once and for all.
There is no single greater instrument to economic security and personal freedom than a high-speed internet connection.
In the past, Arkansas has ranked fairly low when it comes to broadband access. So Glenn Howey, the state's broadband director, says they hope a new plan can give them better insight on the extent of the problem.
The State Broadband Office released a brand new and improved state broadband map. Starting next week, Wednesday, March 20th, our internet service providers, nonprofit organizations, and units of local government will be able to log into the challenge portal that we have and start to begin to challenge locations across the state.
Howey says for the first time in the state's history, Arkansans will be able to look at the map and self-determine if it's accurate or not, based on what they are experiencing near their home.
For instance, if the map says that they have great internet service, but they have no service at all, they need to challenge that.
Howey says all crucial points of ensuring everyone across the state, no matter where they are, can get online.
It's a grandmother down in Hope who needs to see her cancer specialist. It's the rice farmer over in Stuttgart who needs to increase his yield crop just a little bit more with precision ag tech. So this impacts everything that we do, from economic development, workforce development, quality of life, and we hope to be a leading state in this process.
In Little Rock, Rebecca Brown, THV 11 News.
All right, spring is right around the corner and you might already be sneezing. Well, after the break, we're going to verify if some common tips to treat allergies really work. Simone?
And before we get to springtime, we got to deal with a couple more nights feeling like winter. I'll give you all the details about it right after this break.